Hey there, what do you say there, world? Welcome to the Racers Recap. We are a bunch of ex-racers hitting it, talking about Season 29, Episode 6 of The Amazing Race. My name's Justin.
Diana.
James Earl.
Corey.
And a special guest, Redmond Ramos from Season 29, a.k.a. Doc Pegleg. Check him out on Twitter, right? We are having fun today. We're going to have a good time. We have a lot of questions online. I posted on Reddit. There was a bunch of questions posted on Facebook. We'll get to those questions. And if you have some live questions joining us in the chat room, please post them below. We'll get to them as well. All right. As as someone who's done pretty much everything, I mean, you've done so many amazing things. How does the Amazing Race stack up to all the things you've done?
It's absolutely the best. It's such a great experience. Everybody here in the chat room knows that. It's really, we try our best, and that's why you have the show that you do. You try your best to tell people how fun and how crazy it was, but we can't express it enough. I mean, it's just a really experience of a lifetime.
That's pretty cool.
Especially if you go all the way around.
If you circle the globe. It doesn't matter. It's great no matter what. It's an experience of a lifetime. You bond with 20 other people who nobody else can understand the things you've been through. So
or like 16 sometimes. Let's just say
sometimes. That's great. All right, let's jump right into it. Just feel free to jump in if we're talking junk that's not true. You can cut us off and let us know. All right, we're heading to Milan, everybody's favorite place when they fill out their applications. Everybody wants to go to Italy, and this cast is one of the lucky ones. I think everybody was jealous of this location.
Oh, that totally is. I'm pretty sure I put Rome. I didn't put Milan, but I put Rome, Italy, because I wanted to go there so bad.
Fighting the damn Colosseums. Come on, that's an Amazing Race task, man. That'd be great. So we're off to Milan. You have to buy tickets on the Travelocity mobile app, my favorite mobile app for booking any sort of travel. They were very good to us, paid for our wedding, and gave us a great flight.
No, Fitbit paid for our wedding.
Huh?
Fitbit paid for our wedding.
Technically, I guess.
Must be nice.
I'm just trying to pass on all of this conversation.
No, I mean, we had like taxes and all that fun stuff that goes along, so it really is not.
No, I was talking about the app. I was talking about the Travelocity
app.
Yeah. So how was booking stuff on the app, Redmond?
It was fantastic.
Nice to meet you.
It's a great app.
We find out that Tara met her husband here in Italy. She speaks a little Italian, and she lived here for a little while. So as soon as I hear that, I'm like, wow, they're going to have a huge advantage. If there's any sort of language barrier, she's going to be right in there. And location-wise, she might be familiar. But
I would say I think she's being a little modest too, and she's like, "Oh, I just speak a little Italian," because the entire episode was just her speaking Italian. Every single sentence out of her mouth was Italian.
Yeah, it wasn't broken.
Tara is both Joey and Tara are both amazing people. Tara's actually deployed right now. For people that don't know, she's an awesome person, and also I knew she was going to be one of the toughest competitors. And then once we were told we were going to Italy, as you said, we were all incredibly excited, but at the same time, everybody kind of looked at Joey and Tara as that was the team to beat. That was the team we were all scared of.
Especially coming off of two first places and no one to a homeland for her.
It was exactly after how strong they showed they were. And then we'd all been saying, as much as we want to go to Italy, I hope we don't right now, because we know she's going to just tear up Italy if we go there. So we were definitely a little worried about that team.
All right.
So you all knew that she spoke Italian?
Yes, I don't know. I can't remember, so I'm not going to lie. I don't remember if she openly told everybody or if it's something we kind of, maybe a couple of us knew. But yeah. I know that I knew and my partner knew.
Wow. So everybody seems to be on the same flight that's landing at 11:30 at night. So I think they're just going to race and go get a number and book stuff in the morning. But no, it's a pretty cool task that they actually get to do at night.
Yeah, I was surprised. I mean, not surprised, but I kind of like that you had taken this long flight, and then as soon as you landed, you guys were go. I mean, it had to have been 12:30 by the time you guys got there. Is that right?
I know when we were doing the challenge, it was about 3 a.m. I don't know, maybe when we were finished with the challenge. It was 3.
Oh.
Because I remember we were having dinner and it was like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning.
Here's one thing I would like to.
So
Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt you. One thing I want to remind everyone that's watching is this lead started all the way back in Africa for them. It's easy on TV to forget that this is a continuation. So they went from Africa up to the Netherlands or no.
Norway,
and now they're in Italy, and they haven't stopped. They have not slept in a bed. They have not showered. They just do like the bathroom, wash the face, try to smell a little better.
Yeah.
Yes, that was definitely one of the most trying legs for us. I got mentally drained and got into a little fit during our continuation leg. So it definitely wears on you. It definitely wears on you. So we're looking around, and it cuts to Mike and Liz getting at it there, and she had a couple of my favorite lines during this task. And she got into it, and then she was like, "All right, I'm sorry. Are you sorry?" And he was like, "Sorry for what? For you calling me names?" He wouldn't get over it. She kept on and pursued it, which I really appreciated. But then she came up with the line of the night. She goes, "What do you want me to do? Get in a plane and skywrite it?"
That was the best.
And they do what they do. They hug it out and they move on, and they continue to be Mike and Liz, killing the tasks but getting lost on the way to them.
And one thing I want to say, just because I really do think it's funny, as a racer, we have what we think of everybody while we're racing, but then what I didn't realize is when we watched the show, we were going to have like a second opinion of everybody. So I didn't know Liz too well during the race, and then I'm such a huge fan of her now because seeing how she reacts. I mean, if I was just watching it, she would have been one of the top people just because of how cool she is and how she handles her cool when certain situations happen. So I have this second level of respect for Liz now. And Mike, but I've always loved Mike. Mike and I clicked right away. So it's
the beard. Y'all share the beard love.
Yeah, I think that's something that Diana and I could speak for as well. Like, we had a bond with the teams, but we didn't get to share as much time as everybody else had, so we were always kind of outsiders. We didn't really get to be close to the teams until afterwards, and then we saw how it played out again. So we kind of went through 3 phases of like almost friendship with the group that we have, of like, we're the enemies, everybody's against us, to like, hey, all right, they're not that bad, to like watching it and like, oh, maybe we shouldn't have said all that stuff because they're going to hear it type of thing. So
everyone's trying to confess after, well, we might have said this about you.
I was always upfront with y'all. I'm just saying.
Except the 2 times you lied on the race. All right.
Moving on.
All right. Why does everyone still have such huge backpacks at this point? I don't get it. It's halfway through the race. Everybody on our season was ditching everything left and right. Red, do you understand? Why does everybody have backpacks? They're so huge.
Well, I had a leg. So I carry that. No, certain teams, I know Liz, it was kind of a joke. I don't know if it was on TV or the extra YouTube stuff. Liz it was one of the jokes we had. She had a pair of underwear and socks for every day, plus a few extra. Certain people are like that.
Wait, for like every single day of the race, like all 21 days?
No, yes, she had like 21 pairs of underwear.
You can see it in the YouTube video.
Oh.
I think it's 30 pairs of underwear and 30 pairs of socks or something like that.
Damn.
And we knew that the whole time.
Tops, 2 pairs of jeans, 4 pairs of shoes.
I'm like,
so she threw away, I think, 1 pair. But so to answer your question, I think the biggest reason why that happened is we were all strangers and nobody knew. So imagine if you had a pack, everybody packed for themselves. So we packed individually. You had 22 people packing for 30 days. So once we got to each other, we didn't really have that time of somebody brought 2 alarm clocks, or if somebody brought stuff that we could have shared. It kind of took us a little while to find out what we can throw away.
I'm just saying, y'all are better people than me, because like after the first leg is when it started for me, and every first did stuff left and right.
We really didn't carry that much. I mean, everybody thought we packed light, but another thing, everybody kind of brought gifts, which was kind of funny. I brought a fan, I think, for Matt, a little fan just for whoever was going to be our partners. And
that's so cool.
Becca brought a little button, but we kind of noticed I brought so much food because I thought, well, my partner might not bring food. And I think everybody kind of overpacked, not just because we were scared of the other one, but also a few of us brought kind of gifts for the other person. Hey, this will probably make my partner, this will be like a friendship thing. This will make my partner like me.
That's cute.
That is
that's pretty
cool.
Adorable. I like that. What was interesting is it started out to be set up really, really cool. It was a self-drive to get to a train, to get to an airplane, to get to bunched up. So I was like, damn, it was just kind of a waste of like those 3 cool connections just for everybody to
But I kind of think that was like set up for train station chatter and drama, airport chatter and drama.
Yeah, probably. To get that behind the scenes as a U-turn coming up. So what I like, I don't know how you guys feel about it, but a nice little airport foot race going on as they land. Everybody's racing through the airport.
Oh, this is the episode. So we've been waiting so much. This is the episode that you see
Scott's run. I noticed it.
How Scott ran the whole time. And he's fast. He is in the front of the pack. He's one of the fastest people in the race. And he didn't let anybody know how fast he was, but he's a fast runner. But that's how he looked every time we were going to sprint. And it took, 5 or 6 episodes to finally show it. I thought they weren't going to show it.
I noticed it took me. I couldn't figure out what they were trying to say last week with his run, but it's because he like pumps from his elbows. Like the arm stays still, but he pumps the elbows.
Yeah, I gotta go back and watch it.
So, do you love him or hate him, Corey? What do you think? You like these races, or did you hate them on your season?
Did I like running from the airport, you mean?
Yeah, when we bunched in the airports. Do you like that stuff, or do you like kind of, there was a couple times where we had to stop and then just like open the gates, 5, go, and then it was.
For us, I mean, like I said, every single one of our flights had a bunch point, and we were fine with it because Tyler and I were usually the first 2 sprinting off the air or everything. So I didn't mind them. I liked knowing everyone was together because we thought we could beat anyone head to head. So
cool. All right, so they run out. Tara and Joey still stay into the front and get to the clue box first, and then we find out roadblock. What is the word on the streets? So you got to eat some food, some amazing Italian food, nothing disgusting, while riding in the tram, and look for 3 Italian words along the way. Seems relatively straightforward and simple. There was a comment saying that the ride was an hour long. Can you confirm that, Redmond?
So it felt like it was 10 hours long. I was trying to text a few people to find out how long it actually was. I really think it was about half an hour.
Ooh. All right. So
if I'm wrong, it's because it felt that long. But I know it was way longer than every single person thought. There's even a comment, I think, when the train is leaving for the second time, I think
I think London
I'll see you in an hour. Yeah, I really think it was about half an hour. And that's what, to me, made the challenge hard. I think that everybody made the challenge hard. Is it seems a little easy on TV, but really you're just sitting there and every single thing looks like a clue. So what they don't show is, a lot of us had maybe, 20 things written on our paper that we were pretty sure weren't, but, you just don't know. There's so many things flying in front of you that you're just kind of guessing at some point.
I mean, Justin and I did a challenge not just like this, but similar to this in our season. And I know what you mean when they tell you, hey, you're just looking for 3 words and you're just sitting there the whole time, just looking every which way, trying to find like what you're looking for.
Yeah, and exactly. And I think I'm so happy that they put Scott's reaction when we went through the second time. When we see the word the second time, it was like, it's the most obvious thing. It looked so easy to see. And then Scott's reaction is absolutely priceless when he just looks at the camera. It was like a scene out of the show Office. I mean, it was so funny to me.
Yeah.
So how was you and Scott's first date?
Romantic. We, he'd been talking about taking me out on a date for a while. And so we were happy to have
Italian. Ooh, Italian.
Did you get jealous because Scott was eyeing the guy next to him?
Yeah. Well, I didn't see that until the show, so I'm a little bit disappointed.
On the date,
wandering eyes. Yeah, while on a date. How rude.
So
it's like swiping right while you're on a date with somebody. You're not supposed to do that.
So rude. All right, so we're looking here, and one of the things that Diana noticed, she was like, "Why is everybody sitting backwards when they're driving?"
No.
When Tara and Mike were backwards.
Yeah, when Tara and Mike, they went backwards, and then the second group, they were off frontwards. So I was asking Justin, like, is there a strategy on which way you sit? Did you get a choice?
Yeah, I didn't notice that until the show. So it's something we didn't even talk about, or at least I didn't talk about, so I can't answer that. I'm assuming since we weren't on the same trolley. So I think maybe the trolleys were set up differently, but I can't answer it. That's just my guessing.
Yeah, I didn't know if it was strategy at all. because she was like, why would anybody sit backwards? Don't you want to see it first? And then I was like, maybe they want to see it as it's going, when people like, ooh, looking, and they turn their heads.
My guess, it was just 3:30 in the morning. They just sat down.
Yeah, it could be that. I know I just sat where I was supposed to, where I thought I wanted to sit. Yeah, so we'd have to ask them. I can't answer that.
Food looked amazing. They had wine. So sitting here drinking, eating amazing food. Do you think the food was put there as a distraction so you wouldn't see the words and maybe miss the words?
Oh, absolutely. And I had a few, actually, it's just my friends that were commenting or texting me saying, "How you're in a fancy place. Put your plate down." Because I'm at this fancy restaurant. I'm holding onto the plate and just shoveling in my mouth. But it's because that is part of it. They were trying to kind of distract you. So I didn't look polite, but I wanted to win that challenge.
And you had to eat again when you did it the second time, right?
Correct. And it was great food. It was absolutely amazing. But it was a little tough the second time. But nobody actually had a problem with it eating the second time.
How many courses was it?
It's 2.
Yeah, there was a dessert that they didn't show. So it was 2
Damn.
courses and a dessert.
Oh my God.
A little cannoli, a little
and wine. And you can have as much wine as you want.
I bet. All right, so okay, relax. I have all 3 words. It's just whenever you look at the camera and with your smart ass mouth, trust me, you say the things that you know are gonna come back to bite you. Like Scott looks at the camera and says, "Relax."
Sorry, I don't know that one.
Sorry, Alexa.
Sorry. He looks at the camera and says, "Relax." I have all 3 words, and then gives that little face.
And then they give that like sound clip of like doing something wrong in the background.
Oh, you never want to be that guy. And I definitely had one of those moments on the race as well. All right, so Mike and Liz work together, and they get it on the first try. They're the only team to do it. And do you think that's the reason that they got it done on the first try?
It was Mike and Tara, but I do think it was the reason why. Because, and we don't know for sure. Like we really don't because we weren't there. But I think having 2 sets of eyes and helping out really did the challenge faster. I think the people that had 4 in a cart were at a little bit of a disadvantage because they knew they were at the back of the pack. And I don't think they're going to be as helpful when it's 4. I think it was just like 2 more. They would have helped each other out, especially with the U-turn coming up, because you want to try to get yourself separated as much as possible.
That's I was thinking.
I don't have to comment too much further. That's exactly what I agree completely. It's one of those things where when you're 2 people, you don't mind working together. 4 people, nobody wanted to work together really, because if you give the answer to one, you give it to everybody, and then nobody's at an advantage.
Especially
you're hoping you're the one that got it.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. You're trying to get out. Corey, would you have worked if it was you and any? I guess not Bernie and Ashley, but if it was you and one other team, would you have worked together, or would your instincts say work alone?
Yeah, no, I mean,
it's even if it was Venk and I would have worked together. I think if it was 2 people, it didn't matter who it was. I just wanted, I don't play as much as people think I do. I don't play that much with emotions. I wanted to pass that U-turn. So even if it would have been Venk and I probably would have worked together. It's just having 4 people when there's only, I think, 7 teams left, and we know 2 of them are in front of us. It was a little bit iffy. But I know at least 3 out of 4. I watched the show a couple times. I'm pretty sure we all missed the same word. Venk may have gotten that word.
I don't think he did. I think you all missed logo.
Okay, so then I know at least 3 out of 4 of us missed it, but they didn't show what Venk wrote. So even if we would have helped, it wouldn't have mattered. I don't think, because I think we ended up getting the word the second time around. We tried working with each other, but we all had the same 2 words on.
Yeah,
and I wrote the Nucks. I think I saw, or when we got together. Excuse me. I think that Nucks, or whatever the one that Scott wanted, that sounded familiar. Either I'd written that one already on my own, or we talked, but I can't remember since it's been a while.
All right, so we're heading to Lake Como now, and we're gonna go to this beautiful lake where everybody who watched the show is just like, I want to visit this place. I want to go there. Her family's been there a couple times.
My parents have been there. They're going there again in September, and my mom just says it's like one of her favorite places in Italy. So.
And they get to spend the night on one of the most amazing boats with beautiful food and wine. And me and James Earl and Dad are sitting here like, God, we got pooped on by seagulls on our.
Yeah, and Corey had a boat too.
Yeah.
Our boat was beautiful. It was just, it had been a long day, and we all wanted a real shower, and there were no accommodations. And then we ate this questionable dinner that night that I don't think really anybody ate except for Cole ate the entire thing, and had 4 helpings of it. Their boat looked a little nicer than the one we had.
Oh, I was so jealous of their boat.
It's definitely something that I wouldn't mind spending the night there. So Scott was talking with Floyd, and then Vank comes over and says, "Hey, you guys want to share?" And Scott gets a little sassy, says, "We don't know you."
Wait, this is at the roadblock, right?
Yeah.
This was at the roadblock. This was before we got to the boat.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I guess I have my notes a little out of line. So Scott was a little. I guess that's the way that it showed it on TV. But anyway, so Scott, what do you think about Scott's reaction? Is that a blatant, we don't care? Just
yeah, that's pretty blatant.
I mean, is that right?
Scott can get away with some stuff like that because everybody loves him. And not just the people watching, but when we were there, nobody had an issue with Scott, and so he can get away with stuff like that. So I think honestly, that's just his way of saying no, I'm not going to share, and he does it in kind of a fun way, and I loved him. He could get away with stuff like that.
It seemed a little sassy to me, more than
It's very sassy.
I don't know. I like the interactions, and I love him. He's definitely leading this season in facial expressions. He's kind of up there with James Earl's mom, Denise. She had a lot of really good ones in our season. So during the foot race, did you guys catch Vank saying, let's go, we can catch him? And then 2 seconds later, he was like, maybe not.
Yeah, that was fun. That was, I wish they would showed it more, but it was so dark. That was such a good race. Becca and Floyd and Matt and I, we would always have these great foot races together. And that was one of them. They showed it for maybe a second, but that's why I loved racing against Team Fun and Mom and Dad. They were both just excellent runners. And when we would run against them, it was just no holds bars. We'd be sprinting. You couldn't even breathe for a while. And that was one of them. So we didn't hear that until the show came on, and that makes me feel a little better. It's good comic relief.
And then at this point, you guys get another chance to just sit and relax and enjoy the race. You guys are all drinking together. Nobody's thinking about the race. Nobody's strategizing. Everybody knows what they're going to do when they wake up in the morning. And
the thing is that you're saying, wake up in the morning. Now that we know that they were doing the road stop, roadblock, thank you, at 3:30 in the morning, their time to leave was 7 a.m. So, how long were they actually there? I feel like Lolo probably got there and was, turning around and walking off the boat.
Yeah, we didn't. No, they were only there. I can't remember, but they didn't get there too much later than we did. But we didn't have that much time there. Some people stayed up and ate and drank, and I know Matt and I went outside because being outside was just amazing. It was freezing cold. We were miserable the next day, but we got to we slept under the stars. It was beautiful. So Matt and I went outside on the front of the boat and slept for maybe an hour or two. But yeah, it wasn't that long because we got there in the middle of the night.
Looks like Joey Cavino is in the chat room. Thanks for joining us, Joey. Ask Doc how much Mike drank.
They drank a lot. We drank a little bit.
A little tipsy, huh? Because you guys are out right in the morning.
That picture of Mike, or that clip of Mike when we're walking in and Mike's already been there.
Yeah, with his little tongue wiggle.
That sums up the night.
Yeah.
How do you guys feel about the 5-minute time differences leading out, Diana? What do you think? Is that?
It's set up so, the farthest team is only 25 minutes behind. And I think actually Logan and London, not Logan, right? Is it Logan? I feel like I don't know. Logan. I feel like I don't know them. That they could have really been screwed had the roadblock times been the times that they left the next day. It could have been more than a half hour behind. So
if you were 15 minutes behind every team, starting an hour and a half behind, been there.
Right, exactly. Yeah. I'll take it.
Yeah, I think the reason why they did it, it is always frustrating, especially if you're in the head of the pack. It's a little frustrating. But I think it's because there was one more challenge to do, and then we're going to the pit stop. So, normally they might do 10 minutes or something, but when you think about it, it ends up being almost half an hour for the other team.
Yeah, that's kind of what I picked up about the leg design, how a U-turn in a leg design like this, I feel like it absolutely will send the team that gets U-turned home, because you only have the detour left to do tomorrow, and then it's a pit stop. So I kind of feel like that strategy on who to U-turn and then to burn the other one came into play, because that's all you had to do.
And I cannot wait to get to that.
For somebody to catch up. So.
Oh yeah, so we're almost there. So we're at the board. Let's just get to it. Joey and Tara get to the board, and they're first again, and they don't use the U-turn because they're not down with this plan. But if you're not down with this plan, why not just use the U-turn on somebody that you think is the strongest team that's behind you when you have the chance? And
boy, how did you take the episode? To me, is Joey in the chat room?
Yeah,
he's in there.
He can chime in if he wants. To me, I thought he just didn't want to, because honestly, I can't even remember. There's 10 different plans that were going on. We didn't have one giant plan. But from me, what I thought it was he just didn't want to be the one to do it, because he didn't have to. He was in the front of the pack. He didn't necessarily say he was against it, but I could be wrong.
No. I see that he wanted to put somebody else, make somebody else the bad guy, but I get it. But that was a great chance for him to U-turn like you and Matt, and then and then get you guys. When you have,
that's true.
Can I say something?
But he loved us.
Like, Justin, in your sentence, you're like, I don't want to be the bad guy, and that's the one thing that really irks me, especially with like all the online people. So they'll be like, you know what, they're the bad guys. They U-turned them. But on the flip side, if it was like, I'm just going to use Brooke and Scott because they did the most crap online. If this same plan had been used for Brooke and Scott and got them out, like if they had done that, people would have been like, oh my God, whoever did this was amazing. They did the plan just like they were supposed to. Like, I don't get why people hate when people, number one, use the U-turn, because it's part of the game. And part of the game is trying to win. Like, you want to be, first off, you don't want to be eliminated, but you want to be racing teams that you can think you can beat. So I just don't understand why people give so much hate for this. And I just didn't understand it online.
I completely agree with you. I mean, I think Tyler and I were pretty beloved by a lot of the viewers up until we U-turned Brody and Kurt. And then it was like, shit hit the fan. We're awful people. They can't believe we would do that to Brody and Kurt. We're wimps. We're not strong enough to beat a strong team. So I don't know. It's you're using a tool that's put in the game for you to use, and you earned the right to use the tool by being the first ones there. So I completely agree with you, James Earl.
Yeah. I said, like, the very definition of irony is all the people in the fan groups that are like, who they don't like for saying what, and then when somebody U-turns them, everybody jumps to the defense of, well, that's not fair, that's not playing nice, but everyone in the fan groups are like ripping everybody apart for just being themselves, and then
trust me, I the only way I could have been more hated.
People will curse and call people horrible names and then say, how dare.
Yeah, how dare they U-turn somebody?
What? How dare you bully someone while I bully you on Facebook?
I was like, that's literally the definition of irony right there.
All right, so let's get to it. Bullying, was this bullying? Was this classic bullying? Big bad Redmond muscle man.
Oh man, I'm so tired of hearing that term.
Ashton.
I'm so tired of hearing that term. I am such an anti-bullying advocate. But when you say something like this is bullying, when you say beating somebody too badly in a game, which is what this is bullying, then you just completely take away what actual bullying is, and it's really wrong. It's wrong for people that are suffering, actually being bullied in life. And so when you're watching, something like this, and we're all having fun, look at the way Ashton and Bank took that U-turn. They passed by Mike and Liz, and they're not crying. They pass by and they go, hey, thank you very much. Like, obviously upset.
Is that bullying?
If that's how they react, why would you be more upset than them? It's not bullying. Everybody's playing a game. Everybody, or some of the people chose to take somebody out. And that's just how this is.
Yeah, I deal with like kids all the time actually being bullied, like you said, and sometimes like kids will tease each other, and I always try to tell them like, no, you're not being bullied. You said something to him, he said something back. You both deserved it. It's not bullying. So when people kind of throw it around, it's frustrating because, like you said, it takes away from the people that actually are being bullied.
I think it's the wrong label. I just call it gamesmanship. I mean, if anybody's ever seen any true athlete at their peak, Michael Jordan was the biggest shit talker in the game. If you heard anything that he said, you would think he was the biggest bully. He was out there talking about your mother and the things he did to her. I mean, that's just the way he did. Any way to get into somebody's mind. I get it. It's a family show. They don't do that here. But come on, as an athlete who played 7 sports, I get it. I'm a big junk talker. It's shocking.
Yeah. And everybody's different with that kind of stuff. Some people don't, some people choose not to. When I did track, I was kind of in between. Sometimes it just depends on who I was going up against. But the guy that beat me, no matter what, Keontae Story, he's one of my really good friends. He would beat me, but he's the type of guy who walk up to the track and he would say, "Hey, I know you're going to win. Good job, everybody." And that would get in your head more. And everybody thought he was being nice, but that's actually the way he would gameplay. And the way I would gameplay would be play cocky than I actually am in real life, because that would get in people's heads. So everybody has their own strategy, but it's exactly like you said. It's when you're doing a game, when you're playing a sport, you're a different person.
And I will say, for people that also say this is not a social game, I am sorry, I'm just going to cause, I call horse shit. Because Matt and Redmond had such a good social game, and I'm going to give you all like a compliment and also like a little bit of a critique to some other teams. Right. Matt and Redmond had such a good social game that 3 teams that were in front of them weren't concerned enough to U-turn them when they've never been lower than 4th place. This team has never been lower than 4th. You have a chance to completely block them out and guarantee elimination. I'm sorry, if you turn the double U-turn into a single U-turn for any team, I really do think this challenge would have eliminated you. And I'm not trying to throw shade at you, Redmond.
Yeah.
I just think the ghost side of the detour took so long that you wouldn't have been able to make up time.
Yeah, and that's what I said. It was all leg design, that there was no way. I mean, Tara and Joey were the first ones there, and they were still the 3rd ones out to check in. So you know that took a lot longer than even going to the rock climbing destination and getting that finished.
So all that being said, all the people that play in the future, you can pretend this isn't a social game, but it absolutely is.
Yeah. At this point, I wish Joey was in the chat room right now. I don't think he is. At this point, he is. He said
that he made an absolute promise not to U-turn you and Matt.
And we gave him alcohol. I think we've gotten into an airport. We had somehow found a way to convince the people to let us into a 1st-class area in one of the airports, like a lounge. Wow. And we brought out a few beers and we helped out Joey. And so that is part of the game. That's what happens, And there's just 1,000,001 experiences like that were happening throughout the race, where you're helping somebody out, somebody's helping you out. That's not necessarily camera worthy or show worthy. That happens, and all that stuff ends up adding up. So there's a lot of stuff that goes on that people don't see. It's not that the show's hiding it. It's just that it's just too many things to talk about that really do affect the game a little bit.
Yeah. So Vank and Ashton, they get U-turned. They take it well. Redmond gets a lot of junk online, a lot of talk about bullying, which is not bullying. It's not piling on. It's taking advantage of the tools in a game that you're playing. This is a game, after all. And at the end of the day, it seems like the whole cast is still very friendly. Even Shamir, who everybody thought was not going to be part of it, seems to be even in the photos of the aftercast. So let's get to the U-turn board. Do you like the U-turn board being before the detour again? It's not like.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I said
like me. No, I don't like it.
Corey,
I don't know if I think it was. Sorry, go ahead, Corey.
Yeah, no, I said it last time. I think you should have to complete one side of the task to be able to win that detour and be able to send somebody. Because, I mean, if Tara and Joey had picked to do the ghost, they probably wouldn't have been the first one there if it were like the U-turn board used to be more often has been in the past.
Right, that would have changed it up a little bit.
I think you said earlier, Corey, that it was something you earn, and that's how it normally is. You kind of earn it by doing a challenge. So this one, it's a cool watching the show, but as the person racing it, it does get a little frustrating.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the detour was make a mold or grab a hold, and it was clearly an unbalanced detour with Joey said it took about 45 to 55 minutes to do the mold, and it doesn't look like you could have done that much faster. It was like almost like a set time.
It had to dry twice.
Yeah.
And I knew the drying time is what probably took the longest. And it kind of reminds me of the giraffe task in our season that like you had to stain it and then let it dry and then I think do something else to it. So.
Which is why Mom and I would have been doing the rock climbing.
Yeah.
Did you guys like that the climbing side of the detour? It seemed more like a roadblock to me. It seemed like only one person. I mean, yes, you were like tethered to your partner, but I don't know. I didn't like that aspect of that side of the detour. It felt like it was a task for one.
I completely forgot that was a detour. I was thinking that was one of the roadblocks we had done, and because it is what you felt. I think for the only time it really mattered was with Mike. That's the only team I saw. He wasn't doing anything wrong. He was just smart. Mike was a strong dude. His partner is a small person, and so Mike was like pulling her up the mountain. He even says it during the thing. So I think in a situation like that, it's more like a detour. But for most of us, it was just let your partner do what they're going to do.
Right.
It's Mike to think that. But Matt went up that thing so quickly, it didn't really matter.
Did they did they have you guys pick who was going to climb, or was it based on the lighter person was climbing?
Man, the lighter person climbed on every one. So I'm not sure if that's just what we did.
Just for I had the same question for you. Like I had the same exact question. I had the same exact question Corey did. Because that's the only thing that would make me nervous about doing that detour is because in that situation, Mom would have to go up the rock. But the arts and crafts, like I watch HGTV, that shit takes forever.
Well,
you don't want to do those challenges.
I was gonna say it reminded me.
A lot of people get scared. You think if you're not that physical, you might not want to do the physical challenge sometimes. But this one specific challenge was not physical. It wasn't. Nobody was coming down from it like completely beaten up and tired. It was just this one was somewhat unbalanced, and the people that chose climbing kind of lucked out.
Yeah,
Corey, I know you got to head out. You're going to hang out with Bernie Burns and Ashley today. So if you want to get your stuff in now, go ahead, get it all out there. Let's go.
No, I mean, I didn't have a whole lot else to say. I wish the detour was. It kind of reminded me of one of the final challenges on our last day in the final leg of season 28, where we had to rappel and I had to pull out one way, and it was Tyler and I were weighted. I wished it was more of something like that because it seemed like it was a task for one person, and it was clearly an unbalanced detour because it seemed way faster to do the rock climbing.
Yeah, it was definitely. Do you have your Corey LOL moment of the episode?
It was. You already said it. It was Ling and her saying, "What do you want me to do? Get a plane?"
And skywrite it. Yeah.
That was Liz.
Definitely.
This week.
Oh, he's having a tough time.
I enjoyed the leg, and I'm sorry I have to cut out a little early. Bernie's taking me on a hot.
Oh, have fun!
Nice. Tell them we said what's up. Tar family. Hope to see you guys at another event. All right, Redmond. So we're here at the task at the detours. Do you think that you guys could have done the make a mold task and overcome some sort of a U-turn here, or do you think it was just impossible for any team?
You're saying if it would have been us double U-turned, and blocked out instead of no, I think. Even because
I know Matt crushed that challenge.
I think there could have been a couple situations if you were the first, somebody's already 25 minutes behind, and then I know Lolo took a little bit, took quite a while because they chose the slower detour. So maybe if you were first or second and had to do both, but really, in our position, we were about third or fourth, I think.
Fourth, yeah.
And I
think we were fourth, we were middle. We would have gone home that day.
I feel like too, because everything was so close together, it's not like you really had to go far or self-drive or anything that kind of you were there and then you were checking in at the pit stop.
Okay. Well, I know they got lost. A few teams got lost, and Matt and I didn't. So even though we were fourth of the pack, I think leaving fourth, you said, so that's a little bit behind.
Yeah, Vank and Ashley Team Fun got lost.
Climbing wall first. Yeah, and it was confusing. The reason why we actually we trusted our gut. One of the guys told us to go, and I think he had told 3 teams to go a certain way, and it showed it actually on TV. We look at them, we ask them, and then Matt and I are just like, thank you, but never mind. And we just ran the way we wanted to. Becca and Floyd went the other way. It only costed them maybe 5 minutes, but we ended up being able to pass them up there.
So Matt is Spider-Man. Becca looks at home when she's touching rocks. She's excited. Brooke, of course, is scared that she can't do it as she's doing it. What a surprise. Phil is super excited about these Ferrari boats of the sea. I guess it's something that us underprivileged don't know anything about because it just looked like a regular boat to me. But he was like, these boats are amazing. Look at these boats.
I feel like they're the same boats in oh my God, Indiana Jones on the Last Crusade. There's a scene where they're like on the boats.
And I'll sound I'm not going to talk too much about it because I'm not that versed. But what I do know is the people that love boats, all the staff that love boats, I think a couple contestants, their minds were freaking blown. So this is, if you like boats, these are the boats. These are the ones. I mean, they were gorgeous. We could not have been happier on them. But, I would have been happy on multiple types of boats. The people that knew boats, this was like the time of their life to even be able to see one. And then we found out that they're $1 million boats. And they're really works of art that just you can go and sail on. And if they get damaged, it could be, one damage could be $200,000.
Yeah, Joey said the boat was $350,000.
So that's what I was going to ask you, because when it comes down to this race here, we have a legit boat race to the finish, like what? And then you get to the docks, pulling into the docks to park, and your guy gets a little jacked, and then the Team Fun comes in. And is it because the boats were $1 million or $300,000 that you guys didn't try to like grab the dock or jump off the boat, or there was like you just kind of sat there and just?
Yeah, you're not. I mean,
I don't mind getting wet. We could have jumped in. Can't leave without your camera crew. So if we would have jumped in, it's not like the camera crew is going to jump in with us.
Right.
And our guy.
I totally didn't even think the camera crew.
So and they never hold you back. That's not what I'm saying. They're holding us back. But there's certain things you just can't do. You can't run off if your camera crew can't safely run off with you. And so even if we wanted to, which we did, you can't just jump off the boat and swim to shore. Even that probably wouldn't have helped us much. But it was a difference between boats. And if you saw us on the mat, I mean, we were still, obviously we all want to win, but when you lose against Team Fun, I mean, we knew it was it was an awesome foot race. We were super excited, and we ran up and immediately hugged them or high-fived them. We were, it couldn't have happened to a nicer team. So we were excited about it. Obviously we wanted to win. Definitely, up to the boats at that point.
Yeah. Were the teams looking at Team Fun as a threat at all?
Yeah, Team Fun was it was a little weird having them there because we really wanted the entire time saying, I know I'm going to get to the top 3 and I want them to be there with me, but they're going to be some of the hardest competition in the world, but they're so fun. And so I really wanted her and him to be with us. But also, they're tough. It's kind of like Joey with me, Joey and Tara. I really wanted them to be with us. I knew they were tough competition. So it's just when you're watching the show, it's easy to say who's your favorite. But when you're in there, you also have to say, if they're my favorite, they're probably a good team, and I don't want them here. So it's a little bit tough. But they were just so fun to be around that we just loved. Right? Even when we lost against them there, we were still so happy just to be able to be 1 and 2.
Another thing, too, when you're actually doing the race, you don't see anyone else's interviews. So you really don't know what people are saying or what they're doing. You kind of just feel like everyone at their face value. So I'm not saying like Becca and Floyd are like that, but sometimes you just don't know like who people really are.
I completely agree.
Redmond, I got a quick question. This is like way beginning, but who would you have picked on that starting line? Because you were second pick. I said in the beginning, like, I would have targeted you as a pick. If I was on it, I would have definitely gone for a strong male. Who would you have picked?
Honestly, if you look at our bios or interviews, it would have been Matt. If we knew anything about each other, it would have been Matt. And so it would have been Matt. I know the only person that I had talked to before we got to that point was Scott. We helped each other out. So it would have been Matt or Scott. But just because we're so similar. We're both so positive and happy, and Matt would have been my number one choice.
Gotcha.
Second would have been Scott. You gotta love Scott.
Yeah, Scott is definitely a favorite of this season. So how do you feel about Phil not being hidden? Do you think that matters at all? Like, everybody's cruising by on the boats and you can see him, so you know exactly where he is. As soon as you land, you just get there and you go. There's no like hunt for Phil. He's usually like hidden somewhere. How do you feel about that?
So I'm surprised that I think it would have been hard to show how it actually was. But this is one where it just was a little bit different than there was a little bit more to it. So part of the clue was you had to find Phil. And it's just hard to see on the TV. We were very, very far away. And so part of this getting the pit stop, it was actually a challenge that you had to point. That's why we all say, there's Phil. That was part of the challenge. You had to point at Phil, tell the driver, there's Phil, turn around or go to him.
Gotcha.
And then they turned around. But we were, far, far away. So Phil was not easy to see. He was just a little ant. And we kind of guessed. And you're just, that's the dude with the hat. That's probably him. And so you're far away. You just had to guess.
So it's part of the clue. I get it. Now that makes more sense.
Correct.
So the bad park job we talked about. We got Vank and Ash thanking Mike and Liz.
So just to add, that boat hit the dock. So which was scary. It didn't like crash and explode like the movies. But that boat actually hit the dock. So it makes sense why our boat, took, if they're these, $500,000 boats, whatever they are, our guy we have no gripes with that guy taking his time, because the other guy, it doesn't even look like he's coming in full speed, and he ended up crashing his boat on the dock just because of, how the weather was, I guess.
Oh my God.
Maybe the waves pushed him in or something like that.
Sacrificed his boat for them. Damn, they owe that boy. Man,
he was dedicated.
That's what I'm talking about. So this is where Team Fun is going to Argentina. We got that. They're heading off to the Spar. He said it a little differently than Phil normally says. The Spa. He said Spar. And Twitter notices. They always notice whenever he says Spa. So Phil not being hidden. Vank always wanted to be a beautiful something as they flash back to him, and you can clearly see, from ever since the U-turn, who's kind of going home the whole time. So there's not really much drama there. All the drama is who's going to finish in first place. And then there's on the mat, and we hear that Vank and Ashton are on the B list of invitees, and I think this kind of sparked some more of the, let's gang up on them while they're down kind of attitude online. And I don't think people understand the questions that you get asked when you're on the mat, and it kind of leads you to say certain things. Obviously, you can only say what you say, but it kind of push you in certain
somebody said I saw some actually cool comment the other day that said, they can do whatever they want with the colors that you give them, but you still have to give them those colors. And I do agree. They can only use what you say. All 22 of us are friends. I disagree with what Brooke says. I would have never said that, and I disagree with it. Doesn't mean she's a bad person. I just don't. Right. That's not why. If I would have U-turned Vank and Ashton, it wouldn't have been because of that. I think that's not the correct reasoning, and I don't think it kind of seems like Mike was in agreement. I don't think he was. I think he was just having fun. We talk so much smack to each other. I don't think on TV to think he was being as aggressive with that. So I don't agree with what she said in that moment. And again, that doesn't mean anything negative with her. We just had different views. When I was playing, there were many moments where I told people I don't want to U-turn Vank and Ashton because it's not an emotional game for me. This isn't. I need to get back to the person that went after me.
Yeah, you got junk for that comment too. A lot of junk
for what?
For saying that you don't play the game. It's two dudes and we don't play the game with emotion.
Yeah. Apparently I'm sexist just because of that.
It's no. And I defended you because it's science. It's like when you fall in love, guys are visual, women are emotional. It's a different type of thing. It's the same thing with sex. It's the way that we are, and by saying it though, you could strike a chord because you're on national television. But again, I definitely wanted to give you a chance to clear the air on that. I don't believe that it's a sexist comment. I think it was kind of said the way I think. there's anything you want to say about this one.
No, I mean, I just I wanted somebody that was going to be very positive person, and what you don't see is we're in the car for 30 minutes just talking to the camera sometimes, and so we can be laughing around, talking around, saying like, "Gosh, I just love that we have no drama. This is so fun." It's probably because we're a bunch of dudes, laugh, and if they just take that one thing, and it's nothing negative. CBS didn't edit it wrong, but they have a 45-minute show. They're not going to edit our 45-minute conversation in the airport, and that's just the entire show. Like, that's not what they're going to do. I'm happy with the way I've ran the race so far, and I'm absolutely super proud of my partner. If you are going to talk smack about one of us, talk smack about me. Don't talk smack about Matt, who's literally the nicest person in the show. He's one of the nicest human beings I've ever met in my life, and he would take his shirt off, and he would give you the shirt off his back.
Wait, have we talked smack about Matt? I don't think we have.
No, not you guys. Sorry, that was just anybody watching. If you are gonna have hate, just direct it to me, because I'm the one that yelled. He didn't do anything. Poor Matt's getting all of the hate that's supposed to be for me. He's getting all of that.
You're deflecting it. You're just sending it all to him. I'll
collect it all.
I want to say one thing about the B-roll comment. I'm not excusing it, but I want to remind everyone at this point in time, they've probably gone about 5 days without any really good sleep. Like, literally have gone about 5 days without sleep. They did get food, so I can't say they've been really hungry. So good for them there. I have no problems with 6 teams ganging up on one, trying to get them U-turned. I did it. I think it's part of the game. Shut up, Justin. The B-roll comment seemed a little far to me, and I think you could even see Brooke's face after she said it, that she thought it may have been a little too far, because she kind of even grimaced at herself.
Please don't air this one thing. Yeah.
So I think she caught herself in the moment, and I'm not going to fault you for life because you said something after you haven't slept in days.
Yeah. No, and I completely agree. That's why I ended my thing with saying, doesn't say anything about her. Everybody's being roped in together with one comment that, like you just said, we're all joking, and that could have been in an interview where everybody's just laughing and joking. And then on top of that, not just because one person says something doesn't mean that's the reason behind all other teams, and last week everybody was saying Vank and Ashton are such a strong team, and now they think they're complimenting Vank and Ashton, who I'm really, really good friends with everybody now, and everybody thinks they're complimenting Ashton by saying, gosh, I can't believe these bullies would U-turn you guys. You weren't even a strong team. Why would they U-turn you? That's not a compliment. Don't tell that to them. They weren't a strong team. Everybody was strong.
Well, Vank and Ashton, speaking of strong teams, James, do you happen to have the placements? You haven't done the average placements.
I do. So I have them pulled up right now. And as always, I'm going to go from bottom to top. So bringing back some old faces, Kevin and Jen have an 11, unfortunately, not changing there. Jesse and Francesca have a 9.5. Shamir and Sarah have a 7.25. This is where things get a little interesting because, let me make sure, Loden and London are actually up next at 6.16.
Wow.
So the crazy thing about their average is, regardless of how the Nets lead turns out, regardless if they come in last place and are eliminated, their average is going to get better, which is unfortunate for them. Burton Stott are up next at 5.67. Then we have Vank and Ashton, who are 4.83. The 7 this week hurt them a little bit, so they actually dropped below. Coming up next, another eliminated team by a U-turn of Seth and Olive, a 4.67.
Wow.
Next is right. So 2 eliminated teams from the U-turn actually had better ratings than teams that are currently racing. So I do think that they got some stronger teams out. And that's not shade, that's just numbers. Next is Liz and Michael at 4.3, Becca and Floyd at 3.5, Tara and Joey at 3.33, and then Matt and Redmond holding it up at the top at 3.
Ooh.
Nice.
Right?
So Matt and Redmond are statistically
So you guys are good with stats. I'm curious because I looked at your stat. Your stat was like 2.1 the whole race. Justin and Diana.
Yeah.
Who's
counting?
Yeah.
And you guys won 7 legs, correct?
Yeah, we won 7, 5 in a row.
It's just crazy.
7.
So that's amazing. First of all, I haven't met you guys in real life, so congrats. Even though it's a little while ago, it's the first time I've talked to you guys. So congrats on that. That is amazing. What is an average rating for like the top teams?
So Mom and I have like a 4.3, and we're in the top, I think, 100 like racers ever. So like 4.3 is where most people fall. The unfortunate thing is the spectrum, like the first 2 teams out usually have really low averages because it's just like first team out's not going to be doing multiple legs.
They're like outliers.
Yeah, I would say y'all's 3 is up there. It is. It's way up there. Let's see if y'all can hold it. The one thing I did notice the one thing I noticed this week, and it didn't click with me until this week, is y'all haven't won a leg. I feel like y'all are such a strong team.
I don't get that.
And I think I see y'all as such a threat, but y'all haven't won a leg, and it didn't realize, like, in my mind, y'all have just been, like, killing this race. And it wasn't until I sat down and looked at the numbers that I went, huh. Y'all been close a lot.
I love that the Amazing Race YouTube page is always posting behind the scenes stuff. So there's a lot of stuff as racers that you're like, I really wish that would have been on. Like for me, I think it's just hilarious. But I don't know if you've seen my bananas YouTube video talking about me wanting to eat the bananas so Ashton can eat them. Like it's just it's a level of like pettiness that that I wanted it to be on TV, and it's one of those things where it's like, oh, it makes me look so stupid, and it wasn't on because it's not important at all. But then Amazing Race puts a lot of stuff on their YouTube page, just like funny, kind of random behind the scenes stuff. One of the things I know is me just getting frustrated. I think I'm just walking with Matt and we're just talking, and I'm saying everybody wants to U-turn us. Everybody says that we're a strong team. And Liz just got first in a row. Nobody wants to get them out, and we've had third, fourth, and fourth, or third, fourth, and fourth, and everybody thinks like we're the team to beat. We haven't even passed. We haven't gotten 1 second yet. And it's like me being like an angry kid. There's nobody around. It's just me talking to Matt. But that is how we felt. It's like we felt like we had as much as we felt like we were best friends with everybody. There seemed to be a target on our back, and we were not placement-wise not doing that great. We hadn't won anything. And Brazil was totally our fault. Brazil, I don't know if you remember, that's leg 2, but we got that was one where we showed up so far ahead of the teams just because of the helicopters, not because of skill. And we built the thing pretty quickly. We showed up and we just did so bad trying to find the bicyclist. It maybe took us 45 minutes or so to find that dang bicyclist. So first or second, fault that we ended up getting third there. And that was hard seeing Ashton and Vanka get in front of us after all of that stuff.
Yeah, and if you want to know anything about average numbers, we have the guy who has the ultimate stat sheet, Michael Harmstone. He's in the room. He'll tell you exactly where 3 would put you if you want. I'm sure he probably already wrote it.
He did, yeah.
Where it would put you. And he has like the international too, like the 20 other countries that are involved. He'll tell you where you fit in the worldwide.
Michael's on this, or you're just saying you're friends with him?
No, he's on.
He's in the chat room.
He's in the chat room. Cool.
I have a question, Redmond. You had just posted a picture from Norway showing like your leg taking a beating. How now that we're kind of 6 legs in, is that becoming a problem? I guess the Amazing Race is more challenging than because I know that you did track, and is this kind of the most that you've put your leg to the test?
Just constant running around, and the main thing is if I'm going to do track, I have my track leg. I can carry around big duffel bag. I'm not going to show you, but a big duffel bag. I carry around a giant Pelican case everywhere I go that has all of my supplies, all my medical stuff, all my I have multiple liners, multiple socks for all that kind of stuff to repair it. And then I normally have a prosthetist down the street from me or an hour away. This is going a month just running on the same leg. But the thing that really beat it up was that first day. I'm in a new system. I got a system maybe like a week and a half or so before I left, and I wasn't exactly sure how to. And it totally helped me out. I wasn't sure how to kind of maintain it on my own.
Right.
And I just kind of screwed myself up the first day. So that very first challenge when we're running to a suitcase, I took off and immediately cut the hell out of my leg. And because I had overpacked it with socks. It's just I didn't know how the leg worked as much as the ones I was using before. And I cut myself up, and then having that big cut going into the water in Panama, got it infected.
Oh.
To Africa, and then we were in the water in Africa right after we got U-turned, and I think that's what did it in. So everything after Africa, it was just gnarly, and it never stopped.
Yeah, like a lot of people kind of were asking questions about like if you had access to medical more, or if there was anybody kind of available to help you with anything that you would need for it.
No, so there's you guys know as racers, and for the people watching, if you don't know, you basically tap out if you have to see medical. If you want, you can see medical on your own during the race time. Like if you go to the airport, you can go buy yourself medicine or something if you want. But you can't just go and see a medic. The medic in the picture that I posted today in Norway, that was somebody that they basically forced me to see. I mean, he helped me out. You know, he looked at it and kind of gave me peace of mind. But after a certain point, they were saying basically liability because it looked so gnarly. They were saying we need to have somebody look at this infection to make sure you can keep going. And the guy looked at it and he said,
I can't remember. I feel because like I know you get a bunch of like medication ahead of time. I don't remember if an antibiotic was one of them. Like I know like they give you anti-diarrhea, right? Like they give you anti-diarrhea.
James will tell you.
Yeah, go ahead, Doc.
There was ciprofloxacin because I had to take it because during our challenge with the meat, I ended up jabbing that wire into my finger and it's like swelled up. So I had to take the Cipro that we were given to treat that. That was the only antibiotic we were given.
Yeah,
we were given the malaria medication.
So everybody's on an antibiotic. I used to know medicine way better. It's been a while since I did this. But I know I had to stop taking the antibiotic we were taking because, and that's actually what the doctor, I think, in Norway told me. He had said, stop taking this antibiotic because it's not going to help you here since it's a skin condition. He knew more than I ever knew about this stuff. So he had told me I had to basically stop taking that. And when the race was over, to just immediately go and get antibiotics that were specific for, I guess, skin infections.
Yeah, Cipro isn't good for skin.
And a 3 would put you
and
at
the cameras wanted me to complain so bad. I mean, every day the cameras would be looking at me and asking me to complain, and I never did.
Good for you.
So I felt after the fact it was okay to post that picture of of that because there's not one thing that's going to be on the race of me complaining about it. So I'm pretty proud of that.
All right, let's finish up this leg, and we'll get to a couple questions from Reddit and Facebook. James Earl, who's getting your seal clap?
My seal clap is going to Team Fun in their first place because you know I love that team, and they are just they are everything. Like I just feel like I wish I could have a quarter of their happiness because it's just infectious.
Yes. Diana, do you feel like anybody's getting put in check this episode?
No, I don't think so. I think
no Liz, no Mike, none of that in the beginning.
No, I actually think that their conflict resolution was quick. It was, all right, let's just move on and get over it. I don't think.
Let's put Matt in check for being a bully.
No, this time it would be, Vank and Ashton for thanks, guys. That's so mean. I can't believe they did that. But no, I mean everybody's having a great time. Everybody's getting along. If Shamir was in this episode, he would have gotten it, I'm sure, but he's not. So there's nobody.
Oh,
what about you, super fan move?
Super fan move. I don't know. I think it's I wanted to say that it had to be Team Fun. It's something that they did with the boats to win, but they didn't really do anything to win. So I'm going to give it to Matt and Redmond because I don't know how they didn't get U-turned. Whatever you did to not get U-turned
social game
makes you the damn super fan move of the game because literally you guys I don't know why. If they're not coming after you guys for average placement, I mean, I don't get it. So whatever you guys did socially, go for it. Your little gigging, your laughing, whatever it was, I love it. So
Hearthstone saying you're pandering.
Pandering.
I don't think Justin knows how to pander.
No, he doesn't.
I just have to be me, and most of the time it gets me in the wrong place.
Yeah, right. You were like Mr. I would never pick Redmond.
I wouldn't.
No, he said he wouldn't pick me.
Now he's getting the super fan.
Good things about me. I like the.
No, yeah, but I wouldn't pick her. Like I said. No, I'm just being honest.
But
I mean, you're a cool dude. I'd hang out with you.
Screw that guy. I wouldn't pick him. Why would I pick somebody?
Dude, I'd hang out with you.
I pick somebody that's not.
I'd go to war. I'd put you on the battlefield with me any day on the race. I'm looking at some other characteristics.
Never. Word of advice: don't pick somebody that's broken if you don't have to. It just doesn't make sense.
See, I was just
and
so
that's
the
reason
opposite.
She would pick you because you have some fortitude.
I I'm sorry. I need to say one thing. I don't know how long we've been doing this. I do need to say, Michael, you're on this thing. I think it was you that said it. But Matt, they didn't give Matt enough airtime. First of all, I absolutely love that human being, but they didn't give him enough airtime when he was explaining why he picked me. Later on in, I think, a cab, they do it really quickly. But God, I mean, it hit me deep. And Matt was, it wasn't because they just had to simplify because we didn't have time. But Matt has like 30 injuries. He's broken, I mean, so many bones. He's gotten through so much stuff. A lot of these things have happened, right before a really important competition. That guy has been through stuff. And you don't have to physical trauma just to understand, that you can push through life's hard moments. But he's just proven it a lot of times. So it's kind of easy to see when you look at somebody like him, and especially being in a field that just destroys your body. Snowboarders are, there's a list you can find somewhere on Google where they say like the amount of time you can be in your field. Snowboarding is one of the worst sports to be in your body, and you won't be able to be a snowboarder for that long. I mean, what he does just because of how much he loves, how many times he's been hurt, and that he's pushed through it. He chose me because he thought, hey, this is the one person that I can automatically see just on strict looking at people's appearances that he's been through something, and obviously he's gone through it. And so I think we connected in a level that a lot of people, weren't able to understand just by seeing us for 10 minutes on TV. The dude is just such a beast, and he never talks about himself. That's why I'm talking about him here, because he'll never say anything good about himself. He always just talks about other people. So he's such a great guy. He's been through a lot. And nobody will be talking.
Well,
man, that's
you can't break up. So Matt is seems like a really awesome dude. Brooke is joining us in the chat room. Brooke, thank you for coming and joining us. And Sarah just sent a snap. She just got a dog. So if you could check her on her snap, Sarah and Logan just got a dog today. So there's a lot going on in the season 29 world. And next week, we're heading to another place that everybody wanted to go to. It's Italy again, but it's Venice.
Yeah.
Venice, where we have lots of singing, and Mike is pissed off at Team Lolo. Mike is unraveling these past 3 or 4 episodes. He can't get it together and keep it. We'll find out what's going on with that. What do we think's coming up next week, James Earl? What do we think's going to happen? Who's going home?
See, I don't think there's going to be an elimination next week. We have 5 leads with 2 non-eliminations coming up. They're going to have to. I think they're going to use them up soon rather than later. So I think next week's a non-elim.
Ooh, calling a non-elimination.
Yeah,
Which is, here's the thing: if they don't do it next week, then they'll have 5 teams left with 2 non-elims, and that just gets boring.
Or 1 non-elim and
maybe a final 4.
No, it'd have to be a final 2.
Oh, yeah, that's not going to work. So who's going home?
So I think next week it's time for Lolo to say bye-bye. It's time for Lolo to go. They've had a lot of fun. They've got no airtime. I feel bad for them. They both seem like great human beings, but there's really no story there, and then except for them always being in the back and being happy to not be eliminated. So I think it's time for them to go. But we'll find out what's going on there next week. So I really appreciate it. That's going to do it for this recap. We'll get to a couple questions now with our special guest, Redmond Ramos. These coming from Reddit. We post on the Amazing Race Reddit if you want to go over there and join us. What was the hardest challenge for you so far on the race?
The hardest challenge, I want to say the basket weaving. That was, they gave me actually a lot of credit on that. That was 80% Matt. That was something that we knew it was going to be really mentally tough, but you had to be just so perfect and exact on making those things. You had to unravel it and start over. And Matt was able to just see how the puzzle worked. I think that's one of those challenges that would have taken me an hour and 20 minutes or something. It would have taken us way longer, maybe double if it was just me. So even though it doesn't seem like it, because I know that was one of our stronger legs, to me personally, that would have been one of the toughest challenges.
So who do you think was your biggest competition? Like you and Matt, who did you guys size up and kind of say?
You're saying when we first started, who were we thinking?
Yeah.
Or now? Right when we started, we knew Seth and Olive were going to be, you hear me say it on TV, we kept saying it in the taxi, which isn't aired. I hope it's not Seth and Olive, because I'm pretty sure we're going to get U-turned. I hope it's not Seth and Olive. We showed up to the board. We saw we were U-turned. We saw it was against Seth and Olive, and that was kind of deflating. So that was the team we didn't want to go against. They're great people, and they're just very, very tough. So that was at that point who we thought was going to be the strongest.
And what about at this point? Who
this point in the race? I was definitely looking out for Joey and Tara and Becca and Floyd.
Okay.
So another question from our Reddit following: if Ashton and Vank would have reneged on and beat you to the board on the coin flip, how would you guys have reacted?
So we don't have enough time to explain it, and I don't go online and explain my thing. But, there's a YouTube video of us explaining it.
Oh, I know. I talked about it a couple weeks ago.
Disagree with.
Yeah, we talked about it.
We didn't disagree on this. So we had gotten one taxi, which was what we were trying to do with, that can hold a crew. Then we were going. That's when this whole coin flip thing was. So when we were in the car, we were sitting there. There's videos of us too, where we're like, "Wait, is it okay? That means the deal's off, right? Because we're in two separate taxis." And then I think Matt makes a joke of, "Well, we're gonna totally throw them under the bus, but I hope they still honor it." But that stuff, it's joking. The deal was off. So we showed up. We were still saying things like, "Hey, I'm sorry, team," but we never officially said the deal's off. But the deal was for one taxi. So if they would have done it, honestly, if you watch the videos on YouTube, what we kept joking about, we kept saying we would have called him a jerk, and we would have never done that because it saved us 5 minutes, And so I'm not a stupid person, and yeah, how this thing is going to be. All right, whatever, no hard feelings. We'll just do this. We would have reacted.
Well, we know time is valuable. We appreciate each and every one of you for coming by. Thank every one of you join us in the chat room, especially the current racers, Joey, Brooke, and fellow podcasters like Michael Harmstone. You guys should check him out, Reality TV Warriors. They do a different type of podcast. It's very interesting. And if you like what you're seeing, please give it a little thumbs up, a little like, a little share, a little comment, a little hey there, what do you say there? RacesRecap.com if you want to share it easily instead of saying go to the YouTube page, because we need 100 more followers to get a custom page. So share it so we can get a custom page. All right, that's going to do it for the Races Recap this week. Thank each and every one of you. We love
Good night.
You. Bye.
Bye.
Guys.